your reporter for today. As you all know, the computer is a very popular device all over the world. This is because most of the work is done by computer. Like today, we are forecasting the weather with the help of computers. Scientists are using them for their research, and doctors use them to store all the data of their patients on computers. A businessman is using it to manage stock or inventory, balance sheet, and many more. And many other things which are done with the help of computer. So my topic for today is all about computer system. So first, let's define what is computer system. Computer system is a set of integrated devices that inputting, processing, and outputting, storing data and information is known as computer. Basically, a computer system is a combination of a hardware and a software devices that help computers to receive data or information by communicating with each other. Instead of integrated devices that accept the data, which is the input, then process and finally give as a result, which is the output. So let's label the diagram of computer system. So first, monitor. Monitor is used to display the information on the screen. And this is the keyboard. It is used to typing some letters, symbols, and numbers, etc. into the computer. Next, cabinet. It is a cabinet contains a CPU, which is also known as brain of the computer. And next, and the last one, the mouse, the one right here, the smallest. It is an pointing devices and is used to control the GUI, which is the graphical user interface of the computer. I know all of you encounter this kind of devices. So next, let's go to the components of the computer system. There is a top components of the computer system, which is the hardware and the software. The hardware. It is a collection of physical devices, or we can say that it is an intangible device that can be touched. Like for example, yeah, it's very understandable guys, intangible, which is mahahawakan natin. So it includes input and output devices, CPU, RAM, SSD, and HDD, and then the motherboard, and many more. When we say CPU, it is a central processing unit. And the RAM, random access memory, SSD, solid state drive, and then HDD, hard disk drive. Let's define what is output and input. Yeah. Input. An input device sends the data into the computer. It allows users to interact with the computer and is used for, like for example, the keyboard. Ito yung siya example ng input. The mouse, the monitor, the scanner, joystick, and many more. Many more. So next, output device. An output device is a device used to send data from the computer. Yeah, that is output. Example ng output is yung monitor din, printer, at saka speaker. So let's talk about the CPU, which is the central processing unit, which is the hardware device that plays in a motherboard and is also known as the brain of the computer. So nakapaloob yung CPU. Next is RAM, which is the random access memory. Random access memory, which is also a hardware device placed within the motherboard. RAM is used to provide storage to run the application in your computer and is a primary memory of the computer system. So sa cellphone, meron tayong mga SD card or mga SD card. Tapos sa computer, ito yung siya yung memory ng computer, the RA. Next, SSD and HDD, which is a solid state drive and the hard drive disk. It is both are storage of the computer and is secondary memory of the computer. So, let's talk about the software. It is a collection of the instructions, data, or program in the computer. Like for example, of the software or the category wise. Parang ito yung siya yung application na makikita natin sa loob ng computer. Like for example, in games, GTA V, Valorant, PUBG, etc. Ito yung makikita natin sa games na application sa computer. In video player, the VLC media player, Power DVD, and many more. In editing software, we can see the Photoshop, Filmora, Adobe Illustrator, and many more. And last, the browser software, Google, Chrome, Brave, Fixbox, and many more. So when we say software, ito yung siya yung data or naka-program na sa ating computer na mga application. So, last but not the least, sa computer system, there is what we call firmware and the library. When we say firmware, basically software that contains some basic instructions that allow hardware to communicate with other software as firmware. Like for example, USB drives, the hard drives, the remote controls, and the printers, and many more. You can already understand that. So, next is library. Basically, those users or people who operate a computer system using both hardware and software known as liveware. It is also known as humanware. When we say liveware, yung mga taong nag-ooperate sa computer, yan yung siya yung tinatawag na mga humanware.
There are 9 types of computer systems. First, analog computer. A computer that works with number represented by directly measurable quantities as voltage or resistance. Compare digital computer. A computer which uses continuously changeable entities like mechanical, electrical, hydraulic, and etc. Second, hybrid computer. A computer intended to provide functions and features in both analog and digital computers. To developing a combined or hybrid computer model to produce a functions device that incorporates the most beneficial aspect of both computer systems. Third, digital computer. Digital computer, any of a class of device capable of solving problems by processing information in discrete form. It operates on data including magnitudes, letters, and symbols that are expressed or in binary code, using only the 2 digits 0 and 1. Microcomputers. A microcomputer is a computer on a small scale designed for use by one person at a time. An adequate term, a microcomputer is now primarily called a personal computer or PC, or a device based on a single chip microprocessor. Common microcomputers include laptops and desktops. Mini computers. Computer that was smaller, less expensive, and less powerful than a mainframe or supercomputer, but more expensive and more powerful than a personal computers. Medium-sized computers. Mini computers are a class of multi-user computers that lie in the middle range of the computing spectrum, in between the smallest mainframe computers and the largest single-user system. Mini computers or personal computers. Large computers. Mainframe computer is the largest computer. Mainframe computers can execute millions of instructions simultaneously. Mainframe computers are also large computers but somewhat smaller than supercomputers. Mainframe computers. A mainframe computer, informally called a mainframe or big iron, is a computer used primarily by large organizations for critical applications. Supercomputers. Computers that performs at or near the highest operational rate for computers. A supercomputer is a computer with a high level or of performance as compared to a general-purpose computer. The performance of a supercomputer is commonly measured in floating point operations per second instead of million instructions per second.